Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you guys been enjoying the content channel as of late. I'll have this up probably on Saturday. I woke up late today, being Friday. Just I don't know, just was just tired from work yesterday and had a long nap, a long sleep. Don't usually have those nowadays, but um, yeah, it was nice. But yeah, this video is going to come out on Saturday. So just so you guys know, bless me. But this video I've actually been wanting to do for a little bit. There's just other videos that I wanted to put up first. I'm gonna stop saying the word video now because I've said it like 50 times. But for today, I want to talk about this year, talk about 2026, and talk about the future, seeing where things may go financially, and kind of doing little predictions on where I think each season may go. So obviously, in the film world, this is now we're entering the spring season. So we have, or at least we're going to be examining the months through January all the way to April, and we're going to see where I believe films are going to land and ultimately how those months are going to shape. So, so we're going to hop in and see what I believe is going to be in store for this year in the first few months. So let's get into it. So first, we're going to look at January. Of course, we're in the middle of January. First week of January coming down the pipe now because we have a couple movies coming out. But looking at the month of January, I have my concerns and not as shocked given just how January usually is. January is typically a dead month, so I don't see usually a whole lot happening on that end. And yeah, this month is no different. Um, there's two films I feel like can probably do fine, depending on how they last throughout their given weeks. Um, those films are Primates, which is coming out this weekend. Doesn't have an exactly strong number coming up in the opening weekend, but we'll see how that pans out. And I'm throwing a little bit of a curveball here. I'm going to say also the film Shelter. It's a Jason Statham film. Uh, I don't know. I'm just going by what happened in the month of I think it was like 2 years ago with Beekeeper. I think that's what they're kind of hoping with this as well. It might turn in their favor. Who knows? There's not a whole lot of marketing though, so I'm probably going to be proven wrong on this. But just throw a little curveball. But yeah, otherwise, I think this is going to be another down month. We have Greenland 2, which I don't, I didn't even know the first film did well enough to even warrant a sequel. I'd have to look into the finances on that end. We have Dead Man's Wire, which I actually am curious to see, but I don't believe that translates to everybody else. 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. We talked about 28 Years Later, which came out last year. Didn't exactly do great, so that's why they're dumping it in January, because they already had greenlit this film prior to it. And I know that there's already a third film greenlit, so we'll see where that falls in the calendar, depending on the success of this film. Mercy, I think, is going to be the first major flop of the year, or Greenland 2, actually, because Greenland 2, I'd heard, is like a $90 million price tag. But behind that, I guess the second major one I would say is Mercy, because I know Mercy is going to have probably a hefty price tag attached to it, and I doubt that a lot of people are going to go check that film out. Return to Silent Hill, I just don't think there's going to be any marketing for. Send Help, I don't think really is going to amount to much, and The Moment, which is not going to have its moment at all, in my opinion. So yeah, I don't think this is going to be much of anything, but it's par for the course for usually what January is. So not much here, as it typically is in this month. All right, let's look at February now, and for February, I have a little more optimism when it comes to this month. So the reason for that is because there's a lot of small scale productions that are entering the February month. We have Strangers Chapter 3, which I think is going to end up doing fine. Chapter 2 did fine enough. I'm pretty sure it made up the difference on streaming. They're very low budgeted things, so I would not be surprised if this ends up doing just fine to round out the trilogy. I can only imagine 2, which the original film was insanely cheap. It was like a single digit, like $1 million. I think it was like 8 million something. So I think this will end up doing fine. There's a little bit of an audience when it comes to Christian based films, not a huge audience, but enough for something like that in terms of margins, a small budget like that. I think it will probably end up doing fine. Goat. I think Goat has potential because there's not anything right now that would be that would be for kids right now. So I think that something like Goat, I think, is going to be, for one thing, I think it's going to target the demo a lot more better compared to what else animated wise is coming out. So I think that Goat will have an advantage on that. And just by what is coming out, the only thing that would be for kids, which also would drive in adults as well, would be Goat. So I think Goat has an advantage because of just being literally the only thing out there for children. So I think that has an advantage. And Scream 7, I think, might end up doing fine because they're usually small budgeted things. I know there's a lot of the controversy that has come about with the film of, firing one of the actresses because of some political posts, which I've talked about, and I think it's just sad that that had to occur. But I don't think that that will jeopardize the trajectory of the film. I think that it'll end up doing just fine. And again, kind of signaling to filmmakers or studios that horror is just the new thing right now. It's just how it is right now. So, but on the other side of things, more high budgeted things I think are going to, which again, kind of more of my thesis or more of my feeling on higher budgeted things, lesser returns nowadays compared to things that are smaller scale. Wuthering Heights, I do not see going anywhere. I don't think a lot of people are interested. I think people are more morbidly curious because it has like a 50 Shades feel to it. It doesn't come across as insanely sincere. Um, Crime 101, I can also see being a big failure as well, just because I don't see a lot of people really caring. Psycho Killer, I don't see a whole lot of people really caring for. There's not any marketing for it at all. So I don't know if that's a streaming release. I'd have to recheck, but like literally no marketing whatsoever. And good luck, have fun, don't die. Yeah, I just don't think anyone's gonna care if there's. I doubt there's gonna be a big marketing push on that end. So I think that February is gonna be kind of evenly matched. I don't think it's gonna be a bad month, nor do I think it's gonna be a great month. I think it's just gonna be okay when it's all said and done. All right, now looking at March, we have not a whole lot coming out. Very light month, but I actually think horror might be a little bit more appetizing in this month because I believe films like The Bride and Ready or Not 2, I think are going to end up doing potentially good. Ready or Not 2, I have more confidence in just because I believe it's going to be smaller budgeted. The Bride, I've heard things about The Bride that uh, are not the are a little concerning. I've heard some troubling productions surrounding this, and it has a little bit of a hefty price tag to it, which I'm not surprised given what I saw in the trailer. Um, I think that it could. I think it could take off. I think depending on how people uh, receive it, I think that it could uh, end up doing something. But I could also see it also going absolutely nowhere. So I'm putting it on here for now just because I'm just being the optimist when it comes to that specific film. But I do believe again that higher budgeted things are not going to really amount to much. Case in point, Hoppers. I don't really think Hoppers is going to do much of anything. I don't think there's a huge audience for it. I don't think there's a lot of care for it either. So, and same thing for Project Hail Mary. I don't think that it's that kind of movie. I don't think it's going to go and make like 400, 500. I don't think that's that kind of film. And reminders of him, I doubt is going to really resonate. I know they always are billing the look from the author of It Ends With Us. It's like I don't think that that's going to really do much. It didn't really uh, mean as much for Regretting You, which came out last year. Even though it may look like it did well, it didn't really. So yeah, so I think it's a light month, but I think that it's going to be a month for horror, if you ask me. So, and finally, let's look at April. And in my opinion, I think that April is going to be probably the best month so far of the year because we have major release with Super Mario Galaxy, which I think is going to be the first major hit of the year. Uh, we have Little Film the Drama, which I think might end up doing fine, piggybacking off of Super Mario Galaxy. I think that, especially with some notable stars, I think that, in that context, I think that it might do fine. Lower, super low budgeted, it may seem also. And then, of course, we have Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic, which I could see going either way just because it's got a heavy price tag attached to it, but also being the cultural icon that Michael Jackson is, I think that people are just going to show up in waves. We'll see. We'll see. But it could go either way. But for now, I'm going to sit with it on the good sides because I think that there's going to be a lot of people who are just going to be curious to see that how that person plays that role. And then on the side of films I feel that are not going to do well, we have a little rom com here, You, Me, and Tuscany. Don't know anything about it. I think that people know. Yeah, it has like the star of Little Mermaid, of the live action Little Mermaid, and a star from Bridgerton. People that nobody knows about. So yeah, so I don't think anyone's going to care. And then we have Lee Cronin's The Mummy, or I should say, actually, Lee Cronin's The Resurrected, which I think if it has been officially, even if it have not been retitled and they do move forward with it as a mummy project, I do think that though its fate is not going to be great, especially because of the competition that is in this month with Mario and Michael. Uh, I just don't think it's going to go much of anywhere. And seeing as though that it will probably be reshaped and rechanged now into an original piece called The Resurrected, I really think that that point it's going to really not uh, mean as much and is probably going to see a lot of diminishing returns. And it's really unfortunate given what it was, the promise of what it was supposed to be, and now what it actually is now. So. But I think that this month, especially, I think is going to be the first strong month of the year, but that remains to be seen. So those are my predictions for what I feel the spring is going to offer. I'm optimistic. Obviously, things can go either way. There's some movies that I've listed that I'm so about, like The Bride. Uh, you know, the drama, little films here and there that I'm a little 50-50 on. Or it's like this month with that film Shelter, it's like, I don't know. Uh, but there's also an indication that a lot of major releases are probably not going to do as well, only a few here and there. I really think Mario is probably going to be the first of the major investments that are just going to be worthwhile. Whereas a lot of these other ones, I feel like you're going to be seeing diminishing returns, like Hoppers, Project Hail Mary, So, but we'll see. We'll see how this year unfolds. I am very skeptical. I don't. I don't have a lot of confidence because I just think that trajectory right now is going this way, not necessarily going this way. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But you guys, let me know your thoughts relating to these upcoming months. Do you guys think that things are going to be getting better, or do you guys think that things are still on a downward spiral? Do you think things are maybe going to stabilize? Who knows? Let me know. Let me know all your thoughts relating to all these predictions and your predictions in the comment section below. And that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.